What is going on, my friends? Today is a special day because I'm back on my beginner account. Not for long though. Still, there is a great krypt season, and I mean that. For a very long time I was doing krypt videos every week, telling you guys which is the best thing to buy, which character you should go for, which character you should pass on. But at some point it just felt to me that those videos are getting super repetitive and we are doing the same thing over and over again, you know. Usually a gear has precedence over characters, usually. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to, guys, tell you why I believe this season is perfect, especially for beginners. Once again, especially for beginners. If you have started the game 1, 2, 3 months ago, this is probably the best season for you. But even if you have been playing for, let's say, more than 6 months and so, I believe you're going to enjoy this. Now, there are a couple of characters that you should go ahead and buy if you don't have. And there is one character in particular that you should definitely go ahead and buy if you don't have. And this is Slasher Jason. Now, I know a lot of people are saying Unstoppable Jason is better. In my opinion, this is wrong. Slasher Jason is much better. For one simple reason, he can work at Fusion Zero exceptionally good, while Unstoppable cannot do that. And on top of everything, Slasher Jason, guys, is super useful with specific gears. And this is the reason why this season is so great, because the gear that you use on Slasher Jason, actually every single one of them is in the script, and this is the Midnight Stalker curse. I mean, why is it so great? Because of this. Look at this. Increase the duration of the frenzy from 5 to 6 seconds. Jason applies stun on the opponent and enters frenzy when he is under 25% health. So imagine you take big chunk of damage and you don't even trigger Slasher passive. You enter into frenzy mode for 5 seconds at Fusion Zero. That's all you need. And why is this thing so good? Because probably you've already saw the video that I did on how to create a very good bleeding type of team. That can help you to beat more or less any battle where they can take damage from bleed. This is it. You have the time traveler cool factor. If you have it at Fusion 0, Fusion 1, Fusion 2 is going to be even better, because at Fusion 0 it's below 20% health, so sometimes the invulnerability can trigger at 23%. You're going to have 20% of the time traveler cool faction, so they won't really work together, but in a lot of cases they will work together, and that's all you need. So the point is, with Slasher Jason, you get becoming vulnerable once, and if you're below 20% health, you start gaining power. You get to X-ray, you do X-ray, you apply team bleed, then you tag out, tag back in, and you start generating power again, thanks to the cool factor. Even if they kill you, not to worry, your passive is going to save you. Then you regain again 1 bar of power, and you do another X-ray, setting another team bleed. And if you have any character that can increase the bleed damage, such as for instance Ravenous Millionaire the best, or even there was Noxious Reptile, the character, this is going to be very good. So, long story short, I would advise each and every one of you, if you don't have Slasher Jason, if you have a fusion of him, it is totally up to you, but if you don't have him at all, and if you don't have the Midnight Stalker curse, go for it. You have to buy a copy of Slasher Jason and a copy of Midnight Stalker curse. Then, of course, I would advise you to get a copy of the Midnight Stalker sight, which is a totally busted equipment. However, only when maxed out. It has to be maxed out in order to become busted. If it is not maxed out, then it's not that great. But still, you need to make sure that you max it out as fast as possible. So, for this season, every single one of you should go ahead and buy the Midnight Stalker sight. You have to buy a Midnight Stalker curse if you don't have a copy of it. And you must buy Slasher Jason if you don't have a copy of him. If you do have a copy of Slasher Jason, I mean, it's totally up to you. If you're in the mood for a grind, go ahead. If you don't have a copy of Nightwolf, I would advise you to go ahead and buy a copy of this guy. He's not bad, and he can basically serve pretty decent purpose at Fusion Zero by basically power draining the enemy who is tagging in. Alright guys, so this is going to be all for me today. Once again, don't miss this opportunity. Go ahead and buy a copy of Slasher Jason, unlock him, also unlock his epic accessory, and just destroy everybody with this particular bleed team. Let's be real, this particular bleed team works everywhere. But if you don't have, for instance, Assassin Scarlet, that's fine. You can, for instance, bring Strike Force Scorpion, or let's say anybody, doesn't matter. The point is, you're just going to kill them by just doing X-rays with Slasher Jason, and that's absolutely busted. See you next time, guys, and have an amazing rest of your day. Take care.
Perfect.